Will Isagi ever be a new generation 11? This question was asked from this follower here, and if you want your question to be answered by me, send me a DM like this, or if you want priority, my Cash App's in my bio. So to answer the first part of your question, will Isagi ever be a new generation 11? I don't think so. What seems to make a new generation 11 a new generation 11, whether you are a talented learner or a genius, seems to be a very identifiable weapon that separates you from your similarly aged peers. For example, Sai. Despite Sai being a talented learner, his individualized weapon that separates him from others is his passing. In universe, there is not a single passer who is better at long distance passing than Sai. How do I know this? Well, Sai has the longest recorded pass in the series at 50 meters, his opening pass in the Japan U20 game. This pass in itself was labeled to be an incredibly difficult thing to do, and Sai did it off the rip with seemingly little issue. This is a very identifiable weapon that would separate him from his similarly aged peers. We can also discuss Kaiser. Kaiser has the Kaiser Impact. Despite being a talented learner, nobody else has a weapon similar to the Kaiser Impact. I don't think I need to explain Loki. But overall, with Isagi, he doesn't have a weapon necessarily like this. His unique trait and weapon is his adaptability. But that is where issues come up. The new Generation 11 is a group of players that essentially just have a title. That's it. And that title has to be given out by someone. That person in universe is Ray Dark. He gives out the titles to the new Generation 11. But the issue with this is that in order to receive the title and be selected by Ray Dark, you have to have an individualized weapon that separates you from your similarly aged peers. And while Isagi has that, to outside people not participating in a game, it doesn't really seem that way. As far as I can remember from this story, I can't think of a single time that someone outside the scope of soccer, whether it be a fan, an announcer, has really addressed Isagi's weapon of adaptation. It's always the players themselves who call out to Isagi's adaptation. From an outside perspective, he just happens to be exactly where he needs to be, or adjust to become exactly who he needs to be to win. While that is pretty cool, it's not as identifiable as other weapons, enough so for him to receive the title and it be justifiable. Because you gotta remember, the new Generation 11 title is just a title. And since it's just a title, it's made to be marketable. And since it's marketable, you want to attach that title to specific attributes that are very identifiable, being the Kaiser Impact, Loki's Godspeed, Sai's Perfect Passing, etc. But Isagi's adaptation isn't really that identifiable by the world, so I don't think he'll ever receive the title. I only addressed half your question in this video, I'll cover the other half in another one.